Dear students of class 9A and 9B, the points as I mentioned in the board, please look at it. I shall explain the following points. Availability of capital. The industrial age was an age which was totally utilized by one country of the world, that was England, because of the following reasons. Availability of capital. You know, the British made huge wealth during industrial age and invested the same for establishing more and more factories and industries. More and more factories, more and more industries. The money, whatever they made, they gathered, the huge wealth they gathered during the industrial age from trade and commerce. This surplus capital enabled them to invest their money for better income, better understand, better advantages, and hence the British capitalists invested their capital in order to set up more factories, more industries throughout England and throughout other parts of the world. Next point, my dear students, transport system. Transport system, the British took advantages of the transport system. The British, encouraged others. The British encouraged the people of its own country to invest money, especially those who had huge income, those who had huge, wealth. Allowed them to invest money for making the country prosperous, rich, and powerful. The transport system of England during second half of the 18th century, and the system and the discovery of the discovery of a new process of road building using coal tar. The use of coal tar facilitated hard roads and adequate use of waterways through steam ships, and steam ships extensively contributed to the development of the industrial revolution in many parts, in many European countries. And another thing is that the invention of railways by George Stephenson facilitated the transport of material from one place to another, easy in communication. It also helped them to be rich and prosperous, to take advantages of the industrial era. Another point, that is naval supremacy. Naval supremacy. Britain, had a great advantage from naval power. It is said that England is one of the most important naval powers. It was said that England was the most powerful in naval expeditions throughout the whole world, and it was due to that contributions of this country, of the British. They established so many colonies throughout Asia, Europe, and Africa. This naval, it helped them to establish a number of colonies in different parts of the world. It was the colonies that provided both raw material and natural resources, markets of its factories and industries, and factory goods, machine-made goods, or factory-produced goods. The ship facilitated safe transportation of goods and from the colonies to other distant lands. So, naval supremacy also had become a great factor for the industrial growth and development in England. And another thing, next point, Napoleonic Wars. When Napoleon declared war, one after one, declared war against many countries of Europe, one after one, England did not got herself involved in it. England remained busy in making money. England remained busy in framing its industrial policy. England remained busy in inventing new machines. It remained busy in setting up a number of industries and factories. That's why there was a remarkable development took place throughout England, but not in other parts of Europe. Almost all countries of Europe, they got themselves involved in Napoleonic wars. That's why they could not develop. They could not become a part of industrial development during industrial age, industrial era, only because of Napoleonic wars. So it was a great advantage for the British. They did not get themselves involved in it and developed, improved their economic prosperity, industrial development throughout not only England but throughout other parts where they established their colonies. And next point, invention of machinery. A number of machines were invented by different inventors, and these machines also enabled them to improve a lot in the field of industrial development. These machines which also enabled them to to be a part of industrial revolution more and more actively. It was James Hargreaves who discovered spinning jenny, enabled one spinner to work on 8 spindles at a time by just turning one handle. Another discovery which also had become a great factor for the development of industrial country, England, that was flying shuttle by John Kay. It increased the speed of weaving cloth, and these two inventions set English country into a revolutionary mode, creating factories, industries, new townships, turning farmers into factory workers. Besides, Richard Arkwright's water frame was producing stronger yarn. Samuel Crompton's mule produced large quantities of fine and strong yarn. It also enabled England to be rich, prosperous, self-sufficient, and also made them able to frame their industrial policies, which also had become a cause of development for other countries. They also followed the footsteps, the pathway of England, and tried to make their countries self-sufficient, rich, and prosperous. And another point, geographical advantages. What are the geographical advantages? There are some geographical advantages during industrial era by whom? By England. The geographical location of England. The geographical location of England made her to be helpful in industrial revolution. How? Its geographical position was suitable for world trade, and all parts of the world were accessible to its ships. Besides, the rivers were beneficial for internal transport, and its coastline also offered excellent harbors to England. England took its advantages. Besides, geographical location, it is well known that the country had large deposits of coal and iron ores, which greatly helped the growth of numerous industries. Also the location of the coal and iron mines close to each other encouraged the English to evolve new techniques for the manufacture of iron and utilization of the coals. Owing to these factors, owing to the several colonies of Africa and Asia were it established England had huge supply of raw materials, which was responsible for the rapid spread of industrial revolution throughout England, and it also it also became a great factor for the growth and development of industrial revolution throughout the whole parts of the world, and especially where it established its colonies like Asia, Africa, and Europe. It fully utilized the natural resources of its colonies. It fully utilized the raw materials of its colonies, and utilized it utilized it for the cause of growth and development of her industry in England, and ultimately she was benefited with the colonies' raw materials, the colonies' natural resources. Up to this, my dear students, next day the remaining part will be continued. Thank you.